Another episode of Sports Talk with Playeragent3. My next guest, former Athens Drive star, North Carolina Central University star, current Euro star, Mr. Shawn Ray. What's good, my brother?
What's up, man? What's up? What's up?
Fresh off the plane from European soil.
Fresh off the plane, man. And that travel back home was interesting, man. This time, this trip. It always is, though. Yeah, it always is. Though.
Oh, okay.
It's cool, though, man.
Okay.
Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, no problem, man. Look, I got a new name for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna start calling you the ambassador of Austria.
Right on. Yep.
Now, I want to ask you this question. Did you give up your American citizenship? Are you a citizen of Austria now? What?
I did not. You know, that's been the since maybe like 2007 when they brought the idea to me as far as getting the Austrian citizenship. They my hesitation with that was the laws at that time. I would have to give up my citizenship.
Okay.
To get an Austrian passport, and I wasn't willing to do that. You know, and I would benefit from it being in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? As far as just being as a European player, because you know with the European laws, as far as like when you hire foreign players,
right,
it's a tax to go with that, so it's more expensive. You know, so that would help teams out, of course. But at that time, I wasn't willing to really start to give up my U.S. citizenship, which I didn't really understand either. Exactly what that would mean. All I knew was I got to give it up. My U.S. passport, and I was like, nah.
Yeah, man. Okay. I was like, man, damn, Shawn, he a citizen over there now, man.
It's almost like it, but I'm not officially, no. Nah.
Okay, so look, let's talk about let's go back to Athens Drive High School. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I'm gonna say is my earliest memories of Athens Drive. I was probably like 8-9 years old, man. My pops. Athens used to play Wake Forest in a Christmas tournament.
Right.
And this is when they had Ariel McDonald,
Legend.
Pip.
Yep. Legend.
Who was the other DJ? DJ.
Yep.
Man, that team was.
Shout out Coach Dunn too.
Yeah, Lawrence Dunn was he was the coach, man. And ever since then, man, I always thought of Athens Drive as a basketball powerhouse. You know, after those guys left, you know, I don't know how it turned out, but I know when those guys were there, man, they was killing everybody. Yeah. Starting from Athens Drive High School, man, how did that work out for you? Because from what I was told, you was a football star before you was a basketball star. So talk about Athens Drive.
Well, actually, my older brother who came with me now, you know what I mean? My older brother, he's been like a mentor, my best friend, my big brother, you know what I mean? So he's always been there in the picture with the guidance and stuff like that. He went there too.
Okay.
He played football and basketball at Athens too. So when I was coming up, middle school wise, I would go to the games.
Okay.
And when he played basketball too, and of course I would come in there, and the history was all around the gym anyway. You know what I mean? And my 8th grade year, Coach Dunn came to see my middle school game. Like I don't know if that was even heard of at that time, but a high school coach.
Yeah.
Like coming to a middle school game to see a player. So that's kind of how that worked with the connection with my brother and Coach Dunn. He checked me out. And so coming into Athens, like as a freshman, I knew Athens as a basketball powerhouse. Just the history of the 80s.
Yeah.
The 80s had really, really, just a prestigious history. You know what I mean? It was basketball was the sport. You know, so coming in as a freshman, I was put in a situation I could play right away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And me at that time being nervous about it, it was just me. I just played basketball, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But coming up, I was a football player at the same time, so I always played basketball season, football season. You know, but coming in, I was going to play 2 sports anyway, at least. You know what I mean? So football was, it depends on who you ask as far as basketball, football.
Okay.
Me thinking about it, looking back, Football was probably my talking NBA, NFL, football.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
So why did you lean towards basketball? Or did your senior year? Did you play basketball? I mean, football your senior year?
Yes.
Okay, so you played both your senior year.
Yes.
So how did you choose basketball over football? Was it because of recruiting, or I mean, how did that all work out?
It was pretty, for me at that time. It was simple. I knew I loved basketball. I liked football because I always played it. And I was really good at football, sure, but I didn't love it. I played it because I always played it and I was good at it. And it was kind of like, that's what I do. I play basketball and football. So at the end of the day, it came down to me loving to play basketball.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. So how was your senior year in high school? How was recruiting for you? Did you get any D1 offers, or I mean, you were pretty much set on North Carolina Central?
Nah, the thing is, my offers were throughout high school were crazy. My very first letter of recruitment came my freshman year from Duke.
Okay.
That was my first letter of recruitment.
Okay.
You know, so my recruitment throughout high school was crazy. You know,
okay,
all over. You know, I had, you know, for football and basketball. And that was a basketball letter for Duke. My freshman year. So in football, I had Stanford, Clemson, Michigan, all of North Carolina. Basketball, basketball heavy recruitment was Clemson, Penn State, Vanderbilt. Those were the main ones, basketball wise.
Right.
So the thing is, I just didn't. And Central, as far as like the talent, that wasn't really. They didn't recruit me because, from what I understood, it was like that wasn't my level, talent wise.
Clemson.
No, Central.
Central. Okay. All right.
Division II wasn't. That wasn't my talent level. Was D1. You know what I mean? But of course, at that age, I didn't really take the school as serious as I should have.
Okay. In terms of what, academics?
Academics.
Okay. Yeah.
Academics.
Yeah.
I did just enough.
Okay.
I didn't really understand. I knew you had to have your grades. I knew that. I knew
right.
it. But the effort, the time I needed to put in outside of the court in the classroom, I just didn't, man. Sure, I look back on it and look at it like, man, what could have been, but that's not what it was. And like I said, I didn't qualify academically the way I needed to be where my talent.
Okay, so that was going to be my next question. Why North Carolina Central University? And you pretty much, not that it's not a good school, but you pretty much answered my question in terms of.
The thing is Central. I'm sorry to cut you off, but the thing with Central is that was actually my first. When I came out, I ended up going to a school in South Carolina, NAIA school.
Oh, your first year?
Yeah, Voorhees. My freshman year, Voorhees.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, now, the team I was on in Voorhees and the coach I had, Shawn Walker, probably one of the best top 3 coaches I've ever had.
Okay.
Just as far as overall basketball knowledge, coaching, strategic-wise, personality, player, he was the coach down there, Shawn Walker. I'm not sure. Where Coach Walker coaching at now, man? He back in Liberty City? Yeah.
I heard that name before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that name
He
before.
coached at George Mason's son. Yeah.
Okay.
Shawn Walker. Really? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Shawn Walker's, he was the coach down there, and the team I was on in Voorhees was ultra talented. It was the NAIA schools, man. Like, you'll get schools down there with D1 talent.
Right,
on their teams,
right,
but those guys just certain different situations. People,
yeah, exactly.
Grade wise,
exactly.
Trouble.
Yep.
So that's where I was my freshman year, and then and then when I went there, for me, my mental was temporary.
Okay.
I need to go down there, get my grades together, and then I'm going to where I was supposed to be.
Right.
You know
right.
what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So after that happened, I ended up having my thoughts about football again.
Okay.
Yeah. My mind went back to football again, and I started working out plan, as far as football wise, that summer after my freshman year, like, I'm going to do this football thing. I'm going to check this out. I worked out with one of my closest friends, my brother's best friends, Buddy Crutchfield. I started working out with him.
Buddy.
He was in the
That's
league
frat.
at the time. Yeah,
yep.
yeah. Mm-hmm. So I would get with him whenever he had time. When he was home working out, I would train with him. So the football thing really didn't work out again, and I ended up. Funny story. I was in between, like, in this decisions as far as what I wanted to do school wise, and I was playing pickup around Raleigh.
Okay.
Right, over by Athens Drive, Powell Drive. It was a
Powell Drive. Yep, I know what it is. Outdoor courts.
Yes,
yep. We used to go out there.
Yeah, legendary outdoor courts, man. Powell Drive. I was playing, and a guy, I forgot his first name, Beckwith. His last name was Beckwith, though. Mm-hmm. I think he coached at Southern Durham, didn't he?
Was it Levi?
Levi
Beckwith. Yeah.
Levi Beckwith. I played against his sons back in the day. But Levi saw me playing pickup out there, man. He saw me playing pickup, and he was like, "What you doing, Shawn? Like, what you got going on?" I'm like, "Actually, I'm just trying to figure out right now what I want to do as far as school-wise." And he was like, "You know what? Coach Phil Spence is about to get the head coach job at Central.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna give him a call, let him know that you actually out here in the, And he made that call. Obviously, Coach Spence called me on the phone. Was like, "Hey, you in school?" I'm like, "Nah, not at the moment. I'm taking some schools over at NC State, right? Some classes at NC State right now. Trying to get my eligibility together." He was like, "Look, I'm about to get a job at Central. I'm trying to give you the full right to come play if you're interested." And I'm like, "Central? Yeah, sure. Like, Central has history." Really good basketball players come out of there.
Yeah.
Central's a university, with some good history. I'm like, yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. That's history.
That's history. Okay.
That's the story to Central.
Okay. So how was that playing in the CIAA and playing at North Carolina Central? I came to a couple of games because, of course, Corey played there. So I was at a couple of games. It's a lot different now, because I guess they've gone up to Division I. But when you were there, what was it like for you?
Man, when I first got there, it was kind of like, because they at that year, my first year was 2001, and they were coming off a championship run. They had a really good season the year before. They were loaded with talent, and they was in between a coaching change. They had Greg Jackson was the coach before.
Yeah.
They were in the championship game of the CI, loaded with talent with Brett and those guys. Man, they had some players over there, and so we got there. Me and Corey came in the same year, and for us it was like, okay, we knew we're kind of young in a sense. Like the whole team that year, we only brought back one player from the team before, one or two players. Jimmy Boston was there. And I forgot who else was on that team from the season before. And so coming in that first year, it was like, okay, what you guys gonna do? You guys are the new crop of basketball players. The team that just left, the championship team. What you guys gonna do? New coach. Everything was new. We had like 3 rookies, freshmen, not rookies, freshmen came in. Were like really talented freshmen. And then me, I was class-wise, I was a sophomore, but I hadn't played in the CI, so it was unknown. Corey, so we that was kind of, it was some pressure, it was pressure because Central is, Central to Central, being out there, and the level of the CIAA, man, is guard heavy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
guard heavy.
It's guard heavy.
And those guys can play, and then you're dealing with when you go into playing in arenas in the CIAA, they cry right up on you. They talking.
Yeah. Like high school.
Almost. It's so you come in, you got to perform, or they talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so, and that's how it was with preseason, us on campus playing. Like, they talking to us, the new guys. Like, what y'all gonna do? You're gonna suck. Are y'all gonna be able to live up to what came before? It was a lot going on. And then the campus, man, it was, just how at that time, it was like a 17-to-1 ratio, man. Girl to, men, women, 17-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
That factor plays a,
Yeah.
that's just what it is. You
Right.
know? So with that, and along with the basketball, man, it was challenging, but it was fun. It was fun. You know, we struggled the first year, but it was.
So when did you know that you wanted to play pro basketball? Was it your senior year, or did you always knew you wanted to play pro basketball? How did that come about?
I think I decided that after my first year, after my that sophomore year, 2001, I decided that summer, started working out with a coach, Mike Hollis. It's called Networks. He had sounds kind of like an academy where he trains kids and players all.
Yeah, I think I heard of that. I don't know if they still have it around, but I think I've heard of it before. Yeah,
Networks, I got with him in the summer and started working out with him, and we just had a couple conversations, and in my mind I was like, you know what, I want to do this for a living. You know what I mean? I want to see if I can do this for a living. And he told me a couple things. He was like, that's what you want to do for a living? You want this to be your 9 to 5? You can't let a day go by that you don't work on it.
Right.
He said, I don't care what the situation is. He said, you got to get your work in every day with something towards that goal. He's like, if you don't do that, you don't have a chance.
Okay.
And when he told me that, I took it.
The rest is history.
The rest is history, man.
Okay, so you're currently in Austria. Year what?
Yeah.
Year what?
Just finished my 17th season.
17 years.
I started 03, 04. Yeah, 17 season.
17. How does that feel?
Physically, good. But if you think about it, it's just like, it's kind of like an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't happen.
17 years, man. This
as a professional, that's I see most 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, then so when you add into that, man, I'm blessed, man. I'm fortunate. I'm to be healthy, to have the opportunity to be, lucky enough, taking advantage of different opportunities here and there, man. It's awesome, man.
Wow. Yeah. 17 years, man. 17.
Yeah.
So how is it off the court for you being over there for 17 years? Of course, you played in different countries, but in terms of just, living in Europe, talk about that a little bit and what are some of the differences versus here in the States?
Just getting, besides the obvious, the culture, completely different. That's what hit me when I first went over there in 03, 04. The culture shock was something I had to get used to. It took me a couple years to get used to that, because you over there, you get off the plane, you can't read anything.
Right. Okay.
You can't understand what they're saying. This is something that people may take for granted. Being able to understand what you're looking at,
right?
Understand what you're hearing. Then you got to deal with the food, right? What am I gonna eat? Because I need that. Understanding, just different things like the stores, what to buy, because you can't read it. You know it. I mean, is that milk?
Yeah.
Is that what is that, right?
Yeah.
Those little things are the most. Those are those little things, the little details in that, like, are the most important. You know what I'm saying? Like, the basketball is basketball at the end of the day once you start to play.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like you said, off the court, it's just those things, like reading and understanding things, having to deal with maybe the climate. You know what I mean? Austria has it's a cooler climate. The summers are hot, July. You know what I mean? But overall, you got about 8 months of winter. You know what I'm saying? So dealing with that, depending on where you come from in the U.S., man, it's just
you definitely got to be 17 years. You got to be well versed.
Yeah, yes, and Austria is I'm lucky as far as like that's I've been there the longest, and the second language there is English.
Okay.
So they learn English in school. So coaches, they speak English. People around speak English. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that was never an issue. But of course, at some point, you have to pick up the language, the culture, and somehow, which I've been able to do that. And I've been able to where I can understand everything, read, and stuff like that.
Okay.
And, yeah, man.
Is that going to be your home once you're done playing?
My home, home is always home, man. North Carolina is home. But I've opened up so many avenues over there, man, with what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like different different things I'm into as far as like, basketball camps, like doing charity projects.
Okay.
Off court special needs type. Volunteer work with refugees. You know what I mean? Different things like that I'm opening up. So
that was going to be one of my other questions, man. Talk about some of the things that you're currently doing in Austria. I know you have the basketball camp. Can you talk about some of those things and and why did you start doing that, in particularly in Austria?
Well, Austria being my the place I've played in the longest. That actually kind of made sense because I had the most connections there. I knew I had the most relationships. As you know, it's about relationships.
Right,
days, you know
exactly.
What I'm saying? And who you know. And Austria is a great foundation for me as far as my professional, career and like relationships. So it made sense for me there, and actually having people who actually truly care about you, just not the basketball player.
Right.
I have people there who actually care about me, like Shawn. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So they also gave me ideas about things I can do and help me understand the influence I have. Of course, you know that, but once you actually got to understand it, like the influence that I have as far as like, people and kids looking up to me as far as my moves, as far as like, of course I'm a good basketball player, but what else am I doing to spread to spread information about basketball, about nutrition, about what it takes to be a professional athlete,
right?
And leadership. You know what I mean? So that's when I started trying to look outside of just basketball things. Like, okay, what actually can I do? Because I've been put in a situation where I'm fortunate and blessed enough to do this, so I can use this to actually help and give back somehow. You know what I mean? And it was a little easier there because I've been there so long.
Right.
So that's why I started doing projects like I have a special needs basketball team that I actually sponsor. Okay. You know what I mean?
I think I saw that on, you put some on Instagram or something like that, Facebook.
Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. So,
yeah.
And I just got my second team over there too. Like, I have a team that's about an hour and a half from where I live in Vienna, in the Kaffenberg, which is a city I played in for like 6 seasons. I played there 6 seasons. So my thing is, I was just trying to, like, every place that I played in Austria, I'm trying to lay down a little bit of Rain Man groundwork, which is my so like I have a special needs team there. I have one in the city that I play in now. Okay. Also, I'm working with the refugees, people who come from like Syria. Like, they had a war a few years back, where they just completely lost their entire homes. You know what I mean? And they kind of got away to escape, and Austria border was close enough where they can get over there. You got families over there that don't have anything.
Yeah. Okay.
So that type, and they live in a big, it's like a refugee type campus. You know what I mean? Where it's kids from ages like 10 years old to adults and families. You know what I mean? Who live at it's kind of like I don't know how to describe it. It's like a campus though, like where they just living in rooms where they just getting help from the government and stuff like that. Is okay. So
that's good work, man. Yeah. That's definitely good work.
Yeah.
Now talking about playing over in Europe, if you can, your rookie season versus now, how do you think the game has changed? The game of basketball has changed from when you first came in as a rookie versus right now.
The funny thing is the global basketball game, I think the perception of the global basketball has changed to a point where it's noticeable as far as like the style of play is a bit more up and down now, faster pace, higher level of 3-point attempts and stuff like that now. But as far as Europe goes, the basketball style hadn't really changed too much Europe-wise. Europe has been European basketball since I've known it. You know what I mean? But the major difference is probably like the type of players that play now and the skill sets.
Yeah,
the skill set. So nowadays you're gonna have. It's not really, big men, back to the basket big men. Those guys are few in between now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got a lot of stretch.
Right.
You got stretch 4, stretch 5.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I'm saying? So now the bigs are facing the basket now. Those are high, those guys are high commodity. Like, you want a big now who can shoot the ball, who can step out and shoot it, who can pass, who can, Jokic type bigs that play for with Utah. Yeah. So those type bigs are more that's more how I see how the game's changed now. Like the style of players now.
Yeah. So because like what I've seen, in this, being an agent, what I've seen is if you're 6'9", if you can't shoot the three, a lot of teams in Europe, they won't look at you.
Right.
If you're 6'8", they want somebody that can shoot that can shoot the three.
Yeah. They want a skill.
Right, exactly. The back to the basket game is pretty much dead right now.
Yeah. Especially for bigs.
Yeah, for bigs. So to me the game has definitely changed. From 20 years ago.
Yeah. Tremendous. Yep.
Yeah. Now I want to go back to Raleigh. To Raleigh real quick. Raleigh has pretty much blown up in terms of basketball players coming out of Raleigh and having a lot of success. When I hear people talking about basketball players that come out of Raleigh, I never hear your name, which to me is disrespectful. I don't know how you feel about that, but what do you say to that? And it could be because you're older, but most of the time people will say John Wall. They'll say they even bring LaVelle Moulton's name up. And he's older than you are. Right. But what do you say about that when people talk about basketball players coming out of Raleigh and no one mentions your name? What?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, like I have nothing to me. I have no control over that. But I do know that the real basketball, the core basketball, what do you call them? My man Stephen, they call them aficionados.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the real basketball heads, they
know what time it is.
They know what time it is.
Yeah.
And, and if you ask some of the guys that they actually name, like if you ask them, if they really know basketball,
right, and
they know a little bit of, about, if you're talking Raleigh, North Carolina, period. Come on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like LaVelle Moulton, he's older, but he's also active over here.
Yeah.
He's active. His name is out there. He's so that's pretty. You're gonna think of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? His name's gonna come up, and John Wall and those guys and PJ. Those guys are in the NBA, so and they're actually around here a bit more, and they're in the NBA, so their names are out there. So and me, I spend 10 months out of my year in Europe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, as far as just the basketball, I don't look at it as like any type of disrespect. Sure, like you should know.
Yeah.
You should know. And if you don't know, then that's you.
You just don't know enough basketball history. Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
So in saying that, name your top 5 players from Raleigh.
From Raleigh? My top 5.
Your top 5.
Okay.
No particular order.
Okay, and not including myself.
Not including yourself.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Leave yourself out of this one.
Okay, my top 5. Raleigh. Okay. So I have to go on the guys that I've actually seen play. LaVelle is definitely one of the toughest that I've seen out of Raleigh.
Okay.
LaVelle, he's definitely one of the toughest. Like I said, in no particular order. Okay. Of course, John. John Wall. Like I said, like those guys, I watched them when they were kids playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like those guys were young, you know what I mean? But as far as you looking at them now, John and Raleigh, man. Let me think.
It's a lot of them, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
It's a lot of guys, man, and it's hard to pick.
Tough.
It's a
some
tough
of the,
one.
Yeah, because some of the guys don't even play anymore.
Yeah,
that I'm thinking about players. So it's hard to even name guys who don't even play basketball anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who not even because that's a guy that I played a little bit with that went to Athens with me. A guy named Brian Keith.
Okay.
Like he was a player. You know what I'm saying? His situation was different. He went in a different direction, but like it's just looking at a basketball player. Like he was a beast.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He went to Athens. But he only played a year and a half there. You know what I mean? But and then of course I was a fan of Jonathan Moore.
I remember that name. I just can't remember. Where did he play at?
He played at Millbrook, and then he ended up finishing at Central. But he went to East Carolina, I think. He went to East Carolina.
I remember that name.
John Moore.
Yeah.
6'8".
Yeah.
Athletic.
Yeah, I remember that.
Shoot
name.
it. Of course, PJ.
Yeah.
PJ was skilled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was skilled.
Yeah.
Now he's more in a position where he's super effective in what he's doing in the league. You know what I mean? But if you think about PJ when he was playing here in Raleigh and at Texas, like he had a skill set.
Yeah.
He could handle the ball. You know what I mean? He could do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
With his size.
It's been a lot of players, man. I know it's tough. It's tough to name.
It's tough, man. Because I may be missing some guys too. That
it's a tough one, man.
Like who do you? What am I missing somebody that you?
Oh man. Wow. I mean, you got. I mean, you can throw in. I don't know if you want to throw DJ O in there. I mean, he was good. There's a lot of players that were good, man. Shawn was good.
Shawn was tough. I play summer league with Shawn all the time. Yeah.
Gary Madison played at St. Aug.
Okay, see some of the guys I may not even know because I've been gone for so long, and they come up when I have. Because there was a guy I saw play.
older guy.
Really? Okay.
Gary Madison was a old Nate McMillan. See, I didn't get to see Nate
and
play.
I didn't see Nate. I just saw Nate play in the league.
Yeah.
And I met him. His brother was my assistant at Central.
Yeah.
But I never saw Nate play at. Here. You know what I mean? And if I think about it, well, Nate was tough.
Yeah.
If he was anything close to what I know, then Nate McMillan.
Yeah,
absolutely. I can't believe I forgot Nate. Sorry, Nate.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of tough players come out of Raleigh.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this last question, man, before I get you out of here, man. When you talk about skill development with trainers versus playing open run in the park or in the gym. What's more, well, I'm not going to say what's more important because both of them can be equally important, but which one holds more weight? Because nowadays, kids, all they do is work out with a trainer. There's nobody playing in the park no more. There's limited guys playing in the gym. I mean, just getting out there competing. Which one holds more weight for you and why?
As you said, like both are important, equally maybe, plus or minus either one. I don't know which is if it's equal, but just my opinion, but they both are very important, But I don't think, like you said, playing for me, you can't simulate, even in drills. Like so, when I'm training kids. Players, professionals, when I'm training guys, like my thing is I like game speed. I like game situation. I want you to game like game situation. I want you game speed.
Right.
And the only way to simulate that is really by, if you're in a workout, is by getting somebody defending you.
Yeah. Yep.
It's hard to tell somebody to go do this, do this combination and finish this in game speed because everybody's game speed is different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody's game speed, like. You can see a guy like who's going through emotion and he may be like, man, he's slow, but his game speed, that may be his game speed, but that's just his pace.
Right.
Then you got a guy who's quicker and faster. He looks like he's going faster, you know what I mean? And that's maybe his game speed. So for me, like, you have to, I don't think kids play enough, like you said, 5-on-5.
Right.
Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what you playing. No one's playing.
Exactly.
No one's playing. When is there ever one-on-one situation in the game completely one-on-one? Or 1-on-0? You know what I'm saying? Like 5-on-5, that's a lost art. You have to play 5-on-5, or you got to play some type of competition, because if you're working out with and you're not going in the game pace, game speed, you're not getting anything out of it, in my opinion.
Okay. All right.
So I think,
we're pretty much I'm on the same page with you. On the same page with you.
Yeah.
Well, look, man, I really appreciate you coming through, man. Like I said, you fresh off the plane from Austria. And you know, made some time to come through and, you know, talk to me and, you know, drop some knowledge. Next time you coming home?
I'm coming back in August, man. I'll be back in August for a bit longer this time in August. But as I said, I had to get home this week for the graduation. So August I'll be back, man. And yeah, man. Like I said, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, bro. Like, I always want to support, man.
Definitely want to get you back on, man.
Yes, sir.
Sometime in the future.
Yes, sir.
Shawn Ray,
my man.
Sports Talk with Playeragent3.